So
real simple back then.
my
Push
question
button.
is because everything was bigger back then, you know.
Mhm.
So we're talking computers, we're talking all of the data capturing materials, everything bigger and heavier. How many people were a part of that actual mission to the moon? Who stayed on and orbited the moon while the lander landed? I'm not sure how that worked out because I don't remember the.
You had so really you had a team of 3 that was in the capsule that actually left Earth. You had a team of 3. Mm-hmm. 2 went down. That's Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, and you had a third one. Oh, let me mess up his name. Gus Grissom, I believe.
Okay.
He was the one that stayed up.
Right.
In orbit. In you had an orbiting capsule, and then you had one that actually landed. Yep. So there was a team of 3. Now, I cannot mention those 3 without mentioning the 100+ team members down at NASA on Earth. So, we're talking the Katherine Johnsons, the Mary Jacksons, all of them. They put them up into space. So they were the ones that actually got them there. And so you can think of the guys who, they definitely did their jobs. Nothing, hats off to them, because that was definitely a dangerous mission to be the first. But you got to give equal credit to the guys who landed, the guy who was manning the orbiter, and then the team that was down
that helped them get to there. Absolutely.
Canaveral, in NASA, that actually got them up there safely.
It's more got them back. That they got them back.
That's the hardest part, getting back.
Because
that's the hardest part.
And the lunar lander, get the lunar lander back to the capsule and get that capsule back. That's a lot of math.
Yeah, it is. And at the time, we didn't really have some of the grasp on the mathematics as we do now, right? So SpaceX, they can calculate some stuff. We can use a bunch of fancy computers, supercomputers we're using to send people up into space. They didn't have that back then. They were calculating stuff by hand.
Yep.
And so you had to be real quick with it. So that is, when the old heads or whatever, your grandparents, they talk about abacus they use, slide rulers, before we had calculators, they were using that to calculate trajectories,
count stones,
get angles, cover all the degrees, the geometry, Pythagorean theorem, and came back again.
On a chalk.
Exactly. So, right, and on chalk. So you couldn't mess anything up. You had to know it down to the 8th decimal place.
So